confidence is there. Hope is back for Nigeria.
An important score got President Bola Tinubu on the move yet again. It was a mission that also required the compliments of his wife, Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi. President Bola Tinubu was yielding to the special invitation of the French president for a state visit. The president and his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron, had identified the need to strengthen political, economic and cultural relations and establishing more opportunities for mutually beneficial partnership. Touching ground in Paris and right from the Orly airport, the Nigerian leader was greeted with the military honors by the French Republican Guard. It was an indication of greater reception and sessions to come. A jinx of more than 20 years broken for Nigeria this day, with President Bola Tinubu being the first on a state visit to France after such a long time. And the grand reception for the first trade partner of France in sub-Saharan Africa was befitting as it was historic. Starting from the French National Military Museum, also known as Hotel Les Invalides, the stature and status of Nigeria were depicted and greeted with military parade. The iconic reception for the leader of the African giants was also to the admiration of his subordinates present at the Les Invalides.
This state visit takes place in a special moment. It is the first state visit of an African leader since 2017. I think the last one who came was Alpha Condé. So it just shows the importance of Nigeria to France. So as an ambassador, I am honored and proud and so happy that we honor Nigeria in that manner.
Following that was another reception at Élysée Palace, the French presidential villa. And then to the bilateral meeting of government officials chaired by the two leaders, and another bilateral meeting of business community.
Ladies and gentlemen, ambassadors.
Afterwards, both leaders announced a fruitful engagement.
We need to do more.
President Tinubu assured of his government's commitments to improved security and business climate, as well as other socio-economic transformation. He, however, wants the French government to de-risk and promote measures that will further encourage partnership in other areas such as solid minerals development, education and agriculture, among others.
If an African child is given a pint of milk in a class one day, there will be no problem going to the classroom. If an African child is assured of a good sandwich in a classroom or one egg a day, there will be no fear of learning. The more educated his population will be, the better and well-trained society.
President Tinubu also nudged France to see and treat Nigeria as a serious strategic partner to ensure proper development across Africa.
We have this responsibility that is unique to fighting terrorism. And no matter how much you invest in other African countries, you don't take Nigeria for a serious country and a partner in your crusade. You won't achieve the results. Nigeria is ready to partner with a friend so that we have a very robust security operation that will stop migration.
Historic ties and
For President Macron, various reforms in Nigeria have gained the attention of the world, and he committed his government toward making Nigeria a greater partner.
And with the President and his ministers, we have defined several new lines of actions for investment of French companies in Nigeria, of course in the energy sector, and also in the sector of rare metals and critical minerals, which are so necessary for the development of new technologies and in particular new decarbonized industries.
First Lady Oduremi presented some Nigerian traditional gift to the French president and his wife. In the end, the two leaders are apparently fulfilled and sure of greater cooperation, more mutually beneficial.
There have been a number of MOUs that have been signed to do with culture, to do with finance, agriculture. On the agricultural front, Mr. President has emphasized the importance of it to his administration, the fact that food security is paramount, and President Macron has responded. There are discussions that are going on how Nigeria and France are going to collaborate. But importantly, it was a revelation to France after the Minister for Solid Minerals spoke in the bilateral and explained the number of critical minerals that we have in abundance in Nigeria, particularly lithium. President Macron was exceedingly excited about that. So immediately he pushed for another MOU to be drafted, which will be passed to the Ministry of Justice. So there's going to be collaboration, not just on agriculture, but on these critical minerals. The French have acknowledged that in terms of security, mistakes were made in the past, that they need Nigeria to be part of any initiative, any help they want to render to the security of West Africa, the fight against terrorism. So it has been a resounding success.
States visits like this only kind of help to further strengthen and also build on such relationship. And beyond the both countries, it is also an opportunity for subnationals like us to explore trade opportunities and indeed also investment opportunities, and that's what we have done in this trip. We're taking home quite a lot. We do have the presence of the French DFI already in Enugu. The AFD, as you may already know, has injected some money to help us expand our network in our urban water scheme. And so we're working with them also to look at other areas that they can intervene. And so this is also beyond an exploratory visit. It's also an opportunity for us to consolidate on some of those deals.
Opportunities are great, they're open, and it's a great opportunity for Nigeria to jump on it, to support our reforms. and to ensure that Nigeria is on the right track with global ambition. And France also gets this unique inroad into Nigeria, growing its economy. France being one of the largest investors in Nigeria compared to other European powers. It's a great win-win for both countries, and it can only get better.
France is a big economy. France is one of the G7, and France has a lot of investment in Africa. I'm sure you know one of the companies owned by French government is Total, and which is one of the biggest producers of oil and gas in Nigeria. And they are also an equity owner in SPDC and other companies. And there are other interests between Nigeria and France. So this is something that is good, that the French government, they've honored our president, and they've also honored Nigeria. And I think this is a good opportunity for Nigeria to let the entire Europe to know the kind of reform that is going on and the opportunities that are available in Nigeria for immediate and in the medium and in the long-term plan.
So what you have seen demonstrated here is the power of friendship. President Macron and President Tinubu are known to be very good friends. And I think President Tinubu has leveraged on this friendship for national development, for the development of the country, in the sense that Macron himself had lived in Nigeria before. He was an intern at the French embassy in Nigeria, during which time he internalized a lot of our cultures.
After what was adjudged a fulfilling outing in Paris, President Tinubu headed down the southernmost tip of Africa. Another bilateral assignment beckoned. It was to co-chair the Nigeria-South Africa Binational Commission's 11th session.
Excellency. Very well. How are you, my brother? I'm okay.
Nigeria-South Africa relations, a brotherhood nurtured into an organized venture for mutual benefits. President Bola Tinubu was in Cape Town for the session of a commission, the first under his administration. It is the 25th year since its inception, and tens of agreements have so far been reached on the table of a commission. Assessing the situation he met, President Tinubu craves for greater results with emphasis on implementation to achieve the aim of a bilateral budget.
Let us not count on successes by a number of MOUs and agreements signed. They will be mere papers until we implement them in spirit and in letter. The job of our senior officials will only achieve the desired goal if we did very well in implementation.
In demanding for more results, the Nigerian leader wants both countries to leverage on their youthful population while also leading in the actualization of the African Continental Free Trade Agreements. Both leaders believe the Commission must be strengthened to intensify the spirit of collaborations and cooperations that would engender greater prosperity for the continent.
Our success will change the negative narrative of seeing Africa as a continent marred by poverty, conflict, without leaders to offer the kind of transformation, reform the continent deserves.
Together, we must work to position our continent as the continent of the future and to realize the vision that was crafted by our forebears, that of a free, independent, stable, and peaceful Africa. We seek to expand cooperation in oil and gas, aviation, telecommunications, ICT sector, digital economy, manufacturing, and financial services, retail and hospitality, amongst others.
President Cyril Ramaphosa commended President Bola Tinubu's leadership in addressing the political issues in the West African sub-region. Speaking from his experience of a similar bloc in the southern part of the continent, President Ramaphosa says President Tinubu's strides is in compliance with the international demand to lead efforts that is fair and inclusive in the interest of the people.
We commend your work as chair of ECOWAS to promote dialogue, mediation and conflict resolution in the pursuit of peace. We applaud Nigeria's unwavering support to regional and continental unity. Our regional body, the Southern African Development Community, SADC, has been working to address challenges in our own neighborhood. We are seized with situations in the Eastern DRC and the post-elections developments in Mozambique. There is agreement that these challenges will be resolved through peaceful means. We are witnessing progress in the consolidation of democracy on our continent.
The leaders are now demonstrating a renewed vigor by giving a timeline to the implementation of the early warning agreements, one of the outstanding treaties to strengthen and protect their relations.
The two leaders underscored the need to urgently finalize the MOU on the early warning mechanisms. To this end, it was agreed that the MOU will be signed not later than March 2025. In this regard, they welcome the significant investments of South African companies in Nigeria and encourage corresponding Nigerian investments in the South African economy.
The Commission equally added its voice to the call for ceasefire on Gaza Strip and peaceful resolution to the wars in part of Africa.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
One more stop on his working visit to South Africa. It's equally a crucial part as the Chief Marketing Officer of Nigeria, in company of his chief host, took his drive to South Africa at a forum created by the business community of the two countries. Nigeria is the biggest trading partner of South Africa in the western part of the continent. But the Nigerian leader had new assurances.
I'm here to tell you one thing about Nigeria. And one thing only, that we are going through a very stringent, positive reform. To reform the economy, to serve the people.
And with the foundation laid through the economic reforms, President Tinubu is equally assuring that Nigeria remains a huge market for investors.
With the reforms of the economy from day one, I've started to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I am sure you have no better investment destination than Nigeria. You cannot earn a better return on your investment elsewhere except in Nigeria. In terms of stability, security, and rule of law, we are there with you. We assure you that we are open for business. I will take myself as an example of a supermarket attendant. What do you want? How well is priced and how welcome you are can dictate how much you buy. Get Nigeria. get all of us together to collaborate, cooperate, and build a prosperous nation that is inclusive.
With greater commitments by Nigeria and South Africa toward collaboration and cooperation, President Bola Tinubu believes African continents would become more promising.
The hope that you have of Africa is within our reach.
We are greatly encouraged by the
President Ramaphosa acknowledged the strategic importance of both nations in their respective regions and the need to diversify trade relations to move beyond oil and gas dependency.
We need to explore how we can mobilize our respective capabilities and resources to develop social and economic infrastructure in our countries, and how we can come up with financing instruments that can make this possible, so that we go beyond talking about this and actually ensuring that it does happen. The African Continental Free Trade Area, once fully implemented, will enable a massive growth in intra-African trade and investment. We must identify what products can be traded amongst ourselves that we are now importing from elsewhere, particularly from outside our continent. It is often a real shame to see us importing from other environments outside our continent goods that we can easily import from amongst ourselves and sell within the continent.
There are more than 20 agreements generated so far through the Binational Commission of the two countries, and they expect the early one-year agreements due to be signed not later than March 2025 to indicate more assurance for their trade relations. Another mission accomplished in nurturing relations with a European giants and another African big economy. Foundations laid for stronger relations and bigger deals for a more rewarding influence on the national economy.
Confidence is there. Hope is back for Nigeria.